At 6:10 p.m. yesterday, Donald Dillbeck was put to death by the state of Florida, approved by Ron DeSantis, who you're seeing there. And a lot of people are focusing not just on what Donald Dillbeck apparently did throughout his life, which is horrendous, but also how he chose to use his last words. This is Donald Dillbeck right here. He was 59 years old when he was executed in the Florida State Prison death chamber on Thursday night. He admitted to hurting people when he was, quote, young, but saved his final comment to call out Ron DeSantis, saying, "I know I hurt people when I was young, I really messed up, but I know Ron DeSantis has done a lot worse. He's taken a lot from a lot of people. I speak for all men, women, and children. He's put his foot on our necks." After that, 3 drugs were put together in the cocktail that they used and ended his life. I want to be very clear. He has apparently, if the allegations are true, and I don't see any reason not to believe them, done horrendous things. He escaped from a work release catering job where he was serving a life sentence for killing Lee County Deputy Dwight Lynn Hall. He then went through the woods to Highway 90 and tried to carjack a vehicle. He killed a woman named Van and her sons and a grandchild. No, he killed just a woman, I believe, slit her throat with a paring knife. In any event, multiple horrendous, violent crimes. So it seems weird that he's focusing on Ron DeSantis there. Admittedly, Ron DeSantis has done horrendous things as well, not as individually violent as this, but as someone who lost a family member to COVID in Florida, I think that you can plausibly have a speculative death toll to the effect that he had on COVID regulations there. You can't point to a bloody knife, but you can point to what, over 80,000 people in Florida who died of COVID through the pandemic. So anyway, I think that there does need to be more discussion about the effect of some of the policies of these politicians. He doesn't seem like the best person to deliver it, but what do you think, Shuster?
Yeah, what a strange world that if we're gonna have this discussion, or if our community is gonna have this discussion and this discourse about Ron DeSantis, we only have it because a guy who's on death row is about to be killed, about to be executed. He's the one who says it, and okay, yeah. And I guess maybe we should be thankful for that, because there hasn't been a lot of discussion about Ron DeSantis and the problems that he created during COVID and how he, I think, hurt his state in ways that a lot of people are only now beginning to realize. So yeah, I guess on one hand, I'm sort of arguing with myself here. Maybe it is kind of strange and bizarre that it takes somebody on death row to have this conversation, but at least we're having the conversation.
Yeah, and also like it's so weird how we attribute responsibility. So he, I think, indisputably is responsible for the murders that he is alleged to have done. Ron DeSantis signed his death warrant. If that hadn't happened, he wouldn't have died. Now, he didn't administer the drug cocktail, he didn't invent the drug cocktail, but his signature allowed it to happen. And more important than just the individual executions that he has and will continue to sign off on, he has been pushing for lowering the threshold for juries to be able to have the death penalty as a consequence. It needs to be unanimous right now. He wants to change that. If that change happens, more people will die. He's not holding a gun, he's not holding a knife, but he is culpable for those deaths. It's so weird how we allow politicians through distance, either distance geographically or through time, to not seem as responsible for the effects of what they do. I don't have an answer to any of this. It just feels really weird and disgusting.
Well, and what's also disgusting in my view about the death penalty is that there are a certain percentage that we can predict of people who are innocent, who are wrongfully convicted, who are being put to death. So when you make it easier, when you lower the threshold to put people to death, you're only gonna increase the number of innocent people who get swept up, who get put to death. I think that's a reason why there should not be the death penalty. And that's a whole other discussion, but it just, we need to have honest conversations about all of this, and let's have an honest conversation about COVID. And let's have an honest conversation about what DeSantis wants to do with the death penalty, whether death penalties are really beneficial to society. Do they pay for themselves? They actually cost a lot more than I think most people would realize. Maybe that money could be spent on other things like crime prevention or things that would stop some of this violence.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's never made sense to me, and I understand in this particular case, the family of some of the victims, they say that this is closure for what happened, many years ago. And I'm not gonna, begrudge them that they've been through literal hell. But anyway, it's such a weird focus. Like from the point of view of Ron DeSantis and people who are not involved in this case, that they are so eager for people who are in jail will never get out to die instead. That's always struck me as very weird.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.